Hello, folks. You are all welcome to my broadcast this afternoon. I remember myself, just like you know, this is Amechi Eke, broadcasting from Ebonyi State, and as you know, happens to be one of the many voices out there talking about the billion coin and the necessary things that you need to know about it and how not to allow unnecessary sayings or half cooked ideas to distract us from this very community. We continue to try our best to see to it that we stand our ground and move up to achieve what we are aiming at. That is 1 billion members around the world. And with that, we can be able to have a firm stand and really beat our chests that we have something that is worthwhile. Even as it is now, we are already enjoying so many things in the community. But still, due to some recent changes, there has been a whole lot of confusion, a whole lot of let me just say confusion because people don't really know where the admin is taking us to. But that is for those who are not advanced, those who are not spending time to read the updates on the blog and doing the necessary things. So with that, permit me to share some wonderful tips with you today. You are welcome once again, and I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate when I see people trying to listen to me, and most of you are commending my little effort. I say thank you so much. I really appreciate you. May we continue to do the best we can do to have this big opportunity projected before the world for them to see. So, once again, you are welcome. I always like to start with a question because when you start with a question, it gives room for answer. And I go this way. How would you feel if everything in your life had remained the same? It's a big question, isn't it? Yes. How will you feel if everything in your life had remained the same? I strongly believe that if that has been the case, you wouldn't be where you are today. And we all know that what brought about all of this is nothing but that which is constant in life, and that is change or changes. No matter how we may want things to remain the way they are, changes must occur. Sometimes good ones, sometimes not too good, whatsoever. But after all these changes, we continue to push along. But funny enough, I said funny enough, some of these changes that is making us to thank God today may not have been what we expected to come. We may not have really expected those changes to come. And some of them, we on our own, if we have the power, we may have tried all that we could just to make sure that we avoid those changes by all means. But be it as well, no matter whatever we might have done just to have that change not to come, we see it to be a reality today. And that is the change has come and taken place. So when we look back, we say, oh, thank God. If not that this thing actually happened that way, this thing wouldn't have been. So changes are something that is certain. We cannot avoid it. Okay? We can't just avoid change. So whenever it comes, most of us who are experiencing life, sorry to generalize it, I'm still a young man, so to say. So most of you are experiencing life, you know what I mean. That change is constant in life. Sometimes it's not exactly what we want, but that doesn't stop change from happening. But eventually, at the tail end of it, most of the changes, we start thanking God that yes, if not that this thing happened that way or the way it did and things like we wouldn't have been. So I hope you understand the point here. So now, let's face it. To most people out there, yes, most of us around the world today, our childhood experiences were nothing to write home about. But nonetheless, our parents or guardians did all they could just to make sure that they see us through our early stages of life. They kept heed some certain things, helping us not to get exposed to them early in life, whereby those things may actually not be too good for us in those stages. They make sure that you were kept away from that, even though it is real, even though it's something that you may be needing thereafter. So, but we were, as adults, later exposed to the real life. Those early certain things that were hidden before us, as time goes on, we were exposed to them one after the other. So, what is that telling us? Telling us that our parents, they know better, far much better than us, even though we claim to know more than them sometimes, but that is just to show that we don't really know what we're doing. So they did all they could to help us achieve some certain things in that way. So that remains what I'm trying to help people understand here. When we do our best, so when we do our best in the community, it shows that we understand what the admin or the administrators are doing. So back to the story about adulthood. Now, as adults, we are seeing the realities by ourselves. And it is now that we are seeing all our parents went through just to make sure that we become what we are. Okay? So parents, thank you so much. I could remember about a few years back, let me say about, just about 5 years ago, it was there I woke up one day and went to my father and said, Daddy, I used to think that you are not immune to cold, that you doesn't feel cold when the weather is cold. You are just as strong as anything, that cold doesn't affect you. But now, I know that you are just doing all those things for us. You never allowed us to believe that you are feeling, that you are having the effect of that cold. What am I trying to say? Trying to let you know that parents, they do so many things to help us. That time we are still minor for us to grow. So we can't deny the fact that life is not easy. And that is why some parents are working extremely hard just to have something set aside for their children, just to make sure that they are well brought up, just to make sure that nothing bad happens to them. It's the wish of every good parent. But sometimes the children, when they are being prevented from doing some certain things, they may start complaining. They may start, misbehaving. My dad or my mom is this, or my guardian doesn't allow me, all those kind of things. But that is just to tell us that they know more than us. So that is the case. So gradually we are getting the sense of where we are going in this very broadcast. Fine and good. There's no doubt about it that even before now, we have been involved in business of various kinds and interests, and are doing our best to see it work. But despite our efforts, some of these businesses may work, some may not work, some may work for a while and stops. And what is that telling us? That this is the very reason why the world are still looking and searching for something better. Yes, if all that we've been working at or on have actually been paying us back, when we see opportunities, we don't, who cares? Because what we are doing is actually paying. But in reality, we are all just managing, just trying. Some who were once gainfully employed are today looking confused, because that which they used to believe on, that which used to take good care of them, are no longer meeting up. So what will they do? They start looking for any opportunity that could come their way. So the the business owners, or let me say employers of labor, they know that they are just busy milking their fellow man and woman dry, because they know that this thing that we are paying, or that I'm paying to this man or this woman, is nothing. How can he be able to take care of his children, do other things? But he too may be tight, maybe the tight corner, so to say. But that is not where we are going. I'm just trying to help us realize that things generally are not easy. So when we continue to talk about the list of what people go through today, of how hard this life is, we will not do anything in life. So it has come to a stage whereby here in the Billion Coin community, let's forget about how hard this life has been. Let's forget how difficult it has been. Let's forget about how wicked people and bad people have been doing all sorts of rubbish. Because it's like a driver, you're on a highway and someone drove rubbish before you. Instead of complaining and looking bitter and saying this and that, you may actually not get to where you're going. You may even get involved in an accident. So we are positioned to push things forward. Okay? And that is the reason why we need to remain focused. We have seen that here in TBC, we are looking for success. That's what for something better. Yes. We are looking for something better, isn't it? Now, this is where it all comes down to. Since we say we are looking for something better through TBC, that is where it should come down to. How do we now uplift this? To have TBC lifted to the very height it should be, and to have that achieved, we have come to see, is certainly not a children's play. The admin has kept hiding some of what he goes through. Yes, he has hidden some certain things of all that he passes through, just like parents do to their children, until those children are of age. Okay? Are we seeing TBC admin or administrators behaving like parents here? It's not everything that they let open. But gradually, as time goes by, they are helping us to understand, look at the way it is. Eventually, we are going to see the complete picture. Do we all still remember how it was to come into TBC in the early stages? We all know. Eventually, it's like it involves nothing. All you just need to do is to purchase coin from whoever that introduces you to TBC. But gradually, we are beginning to see different stages that is moving towards helping us to really grasp the scope of where we are going. Okay? So, the admin of TBC is helping us to understand the real thing. But now, let me ask this question. A child of 3 years plus, is that child going to be given the same level of attention that he or she got maybe in 1 year or even in 2 years? There has to be some changes. Okay? And that changes is what we are seeing today. We are growing. And most of those things that the admin we are just keeping away from us because we are still being groomed to understand where we are going, is gradually getting opened. And this is the reason why some who are not prepared for it or for those changes are getting confused, they are getting angry. It shouldn't be. Let us understand that change must come, whether we like it or not. Sometimes it's painful, but it makes progress possible. Change is what makes progress possible. If you don't know that, let us accept it. no matter how hard it may be. So I want to believe here that I'm speaking to matured community. Yes, I want to convince myself for that I'm speaking to matured mind here. We are not talking to toddlers. I, as a person, have been following through right from the very day I signed up with TBC and has seen that nothing good comes easy. Forget about the fact that there were ways which we can make money and things like that. But even as that, nothing good comes easy, friends. So, hmm, while it is good to make money in TBC, and many people actually freak about that, it's a good thing, isn't it? Yes. When you're in need of money and you see area whereby that money comes in, you're happy, isn't it? Good. But when it comes to TBC, my satisfaction and happiness as a person comes from having TBC spent as money, which it is. I don't know if we are following. My satisfaction and happiness should be what I am expecting, and that is when TBC will be fully spent as money. Okay? That should be something that we all we want. So, it is again when TBC itself will be spent as money with equal value for goods and services. That is what admin is working towards. Admin is working towards a situation whereby TBC will be fully accepted and spent with equal value for goods and services. Not now that you see so many people carrying on different funny transactions, different funny things happening in TBC. You get a book. Okay, this is a biro. For instance, here in Nigeria is 50 naira. And for the fact that I want to sell it with TBC, I would say it's 100 naira. That I'm collecting 80% cash and 20% TBC. Does that really make sense? Sorry, folks, I have to mute because of some noise from the outside. So let's continue. So I was talking about that what should make me happy as a person is to have TBC spent 100% with equal value, and not when people are just trying to rip others off, all in the name of TBC, having different percentages or whatsoever. So let us work towards that. But what we see most people doing in the community today, they are just not seeing beyond the obvious. They are just busy clamoring for exchanges and withdrawal buttons without any concern as to what would lead to the real stability of TBC and give it a lasting stand as a genuine means of exchange. Most people are not even concerned about this. They are just after how can I quickly start withdrawing and all those things. So let's think deeper and really get where we're going in the community. What you see us having in TBC today could be compared with having some taste of a meal that is still on the fire. Yeah, that food which is still on fire, just like we are testing it to see, okay, how salty, how this and this. So let's not feel that, oh, I can do transactions and people will give me fiat exchange. I can do this. I'm making money in TBC. That is not where we should be aiming at. Let's be sincere and have TBC projected to be what it is. Let's be patient enough and add more firewood to have the food properly done for our complete enjoyment. Friends, I hope you understand where we are going to. Let us give TBC the needed support now so that when it is fully matured, we can boast of something that we have. So it is by then, those people who are still laughing at us now, they will now see that we know what we're doing. So, in case you don't know, may I tell you that success is not easy to come by. Success is never easy. Forget the idea that almost everything today responds to mere touching of a button. Yes, so many things today are possible. Just you press the button and it happens. But I want to tell you something. So much effort and brain works has gone into making those things possible. In case you don't know, don't just feel that this thing is like this and it's very easy. Let's go. When you talk about success, it doesn't just come that way, and that is why we are working. That is why we are coughing out our hard-earned monies to make TBC stand. Are we following? We should. So, friends, in as much as we are doing our best to support TBC, let us do it rightly and let us do it with boldness. The admin of TBC is giving us great opportunity as co-builders, but we don't know. It's giving us opportunity to have these great or giant innovation come to the fore, but it's like our scarcity preconceived mind is not allowing us to comprehend the offer. Our scarcity mindset is just, it's like TBC is just like ordinary thing that it is not. Okay? Listen to this, folks. Listen. I wrote it down. I'm going to read it out. I said, if we can actually see where we are, on what we now have as old TBC members, grandfathers and mothers in TBC, we will see that what the admin has been saying about millionaires and billionaires in TBC has started unfolding. That is, if you can clearly open an eye to see the reality unfolding. Are we getting the point? Good. With the situation now, especially these 8 grains monthly payments of a thing, some new members may pay it just for once, manage to do a transaction along with the 250 kringles that they might have gotten because of the giveaway, the promo, and all the rest. And that is how far they can go. They may actually do and they verify their transactions and have opportunity for having one full TPC. Good for them. Some will just go as far as that. They don't even know how to go further, even if they do, in understanding the benefit of having their KCBO constantly functional, many functional. They may not have the time. They may just take it just like that. And that is the difference between the rich and the not too rich, the rich and the average ones. So some people will be comfortable in their millionaire zone, while others, yes, who really understand the concept of TBC, who understand what it means by that word billionaire. Because sometimes we used to think that billionaires are just self-reliant, they doesn't work hard, they don't know that they work seriously. They work. In case you don't know, they do. So, but becoming billionaires in TBC has been made easy. Okay? So those who understand the value of the Akrengo cashback office, they will not allow it to expire. They will continue to do their best, recruiting others, making sure that they are doing videos, attending send-body meetings, and doing other things just to stand out as rightful billionaires in the community. So you see, billionaire or even millionaires is not just an easy thing. We should understand and have it on our heads. So with this, I'm going to relate a befitting story here to motivate you to do more in TBC community. Actually, I'm going to read it from a book. I used to grab some interesting something here from a book known as Inspire the Sleepy Giant Within, from the Cuban guy. That place says, go beyond. Let me read the story the way it is. It says, a man meets a guru in the road. The man asks the guru, please, sir, which way is success? The bearded sage speaks not. He didn't utter a word, but all that he just did was to point to a place in the distance. Say that place. The man, thrilled by the prospect of quick and easy success, he rushes in that appropriate direction. Suddenly, there comes a loud splat. Eventually, the man leans back, tattered and stunned, assuming he must have misinterpreted the message. And what did he do? He repeats his question to the group, who again points silently to the same direction. which way to say? He still pointed the same direction. And now the man obediently walks off once more. Okay? This time the splat is deafening. And when the man crawls back, he's bloody, broken, tattered, and irate. And he quarreled. I asked you which way is success. He screamed at the man. And the man just says, that way. He now speaks. And when the man was complaining that I followed the direction you indicated and all I got was splattered. In fact, don't point anything again to me. Good afternoon. Say something. It is that time that the man says, success is just little after the splat. Success is just little after the splat. So, folks, getting ourselves ready and prepared for what we've been looking for is not easy. Yes. There is a saying here that it is when things get rough and you don't quit that you come to success. I uploaded a video the other day about a mining site. Yes. We are actually the ones doing the mining. And close to 2 years now, we've been digging, we've been excavating, we've been putting money there. How much have we gotten? It is just of recent that we are beginning to see little things after investing millions into the business. So friends, when we have opportunity as big as TBC, we should not take it for a joke. It is a big project and we should count it as a great privilege for being among the early adopters and those who are going to work to have it achieved and do something with it. Imagine a life that is just as free as something like that. Will that be a life? Let me tell you again that nothing is worthwhile unless it is difficult. It's only when we get something that that we really spend. That is when we will pride ourselves that that thing is valuable. I hope I'm making some little senses here. So friends, let us not assume that it is just by mere pressing of button or any other thing. No, TBC is something real. Imagine that life is a marathon where big hill is facing us right at the starting point. We only get confused if we just look at that hill. It is just at the starting line. But when we continue to make moves, we see where it is going to lead us to. We see that those early signs of hardship may just be there to confuse us. TBC is not about motivating others. TBC is not about just saying blah 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 blah, convincing people to get TBC and pay you. It should go more than that. Let us be strong. Let us push ahead and tell people the value of what we have. TBC is not going to work in isolation, and that is why it is a work that we all must do. Okay? Get doing it right. You'll be getting paid by the side because we have so many opportunities of extra source of income in TBC. As we know it, we are not afraid. Effort only fully releases its reward after a person refuses to quit. So, we are not quitting. Let us give TBC the needed push and see it give us what we are aiming in return. So, folks, this is Amechi Eke. I love to talk about TBC, and let us do our best, not allow discouragement or mere hardship to confuse us, because we are trying to get something fully established and be proud that we are doing that rightly. Thank you so much for listening, and please remember to subscribe and share my video. I appreciate you all. Bye bye for now.